Okay, after our second row, you can see how good it's looking right here. And you're going to continue this way. You're just going to be knitting every row all the way up. Okay? Now to know the length, the ones that we did was 7 inches. If you want it to be longer, you can put your measuring tape here and you can actually knit for you can do 9 inches if you'd like, if you want it all the way up here. Okay? So as you knit, when you're just doing an easy knitting pattern like this, you don't have to know how many rows to knit. You just continue knitting and then just measure it out. Okay? And I'm going to continue knitting. I'm going to knit till about 4 inches, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. And then I will continue knitting until it's complete, and then I'll show you how to sew it up. Okay, I've gotten mine to 4 inches, and I wanted to just show you what it would look like when I measure it. So I have 4 inches. I'm going to continue until I have 10 inches. Okay? And you can see how it lays flat. Get that in the light so you can see how it lays flat. It's not curling up. And both sides look the same. So that's because you're doing a garter stitch. You're knitting every row. Okay? That's what that looks like there. And just continue doing your knitting back and forth till you have 10 inches. And then I'll show you how to sew it up. Okay, now we have our project to 10 inches. And I've just measured as I've gone. So I have my 10 inches. Okay? So now it's time to bind off. Binding off or casting off. Okay? That way if you're looking at a pattern, you know the term. Alright. So we've done really well with just knitting. That's the same thing we're fixing to do. We're just going to knit normal. Okay? So we're going to knit 2 stitches. Knit the normal way, just normal. We have 2 stitches on our right needle. Okay? So we're going to take this stitch in the back. We're going to pull it up and off the right needle, leaving that second stitch. Okay? And we're just going to do that all the way down. So now we need to knit another stitch to where you have 2 stitches on, and then take that back stitch and pull it off. Do it again, and you'll be able to see as you go. You're going to see your work coming off the needles. I've been doing this for a long time, and I still have trouble casting off because you don't want to cast off too tight. You want to keep it as loose as you've been knitting. Okay, so if you pull it too tight, this will shrink up. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Some people can, and if you've got a crochet hook, some people use a crochet hook to pull that one up and off. Always remember, you got to have 2 stitches on there. I'm just trying to do it just loose, just like we were knitting. We're going to go up and off, just like that. You're going to do that all the way till the end, till you only have 1 stitch left on your right needle. Okay, now we have 1 stitch left, just like you should have 1 stitch left on there. We've bound it off all the way down. We're just going to pull this up, just like that. Take it out. Get your scissors. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this end and just put it through here and pull, and that will form your knot at the end, okay? So now you have your entire project bound off, and it looks like this. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to sew it up. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to sew it up so that it will look like a wristlet. Okay, so we're going to fold it over like this here. Okay, and you're going to use the tail. If you kept a tail on, you're going to use the tail and a tapestry needle. And I'm just going to cut this little piece off here because it's all frayed. And just like that. We're not making a knot. And if this is going to be the inside of your wristlet, because we're going to turn it inside out. Now you need to make sure that you've measured your hand and where you want the hole to begin for your thumb. And if you've got a 10-inch, if you've done the 10 inches, then you want to sew up until about the 7-inch mark right here. Okay? Okay, like I said, we're going to measure it out where we want it for the thumb, or so we're going to stop sewing at. We're going to do 7 inches on our 10-inch project. And the way I'm going to do this, I'll just move that and you put that back, is I'm just going to take a safety pin and mark where I want to stop sewing. See? And then I'm going to just sew this up. As close to the edges as I can, just in the last stitch here. That will keep it. I'm just going to go back and forth. Just like this. Just as if I'm sewing up a garment. I'm going to pull pretty tight, okay, so that it stays together, so it'll look like this on the inside. See here? Okay, so that's what you're going to do, is you're going to sew all the way up to where you've marked it, and then I'll show you how to do the top half.